Hi and welcome to my very first YouTube video. In this video, I'll teach you how you can study at MIT, Cambridge, Oxford, Harvard, any university while ditching the entire application process. No, this is not a clickbait, it actually works. And the idea behind this is going to that university as a visiting researcher or visiting student. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete manual on how to draft an email to a professor and how you can prepare for an informal interview. I also give you some proven tactics and lessons learned that will get you admitted to your dream university. Alright, let's get started. So first of all, I want to explain to you what a visiting researcher or visiting student is. So as a visiting student or researcher, you'll already be enrolled into a full-time study course program at a different university. In my case, I was enrolled at Karlsruhe Institute of Technology in Germany. I was a full-time student there. And then I decided that I wanted to spend some time abroad, so I applied as a visiting researcher for a 3 to 6 month long period at, in my case, it was Johns Hopkins University. So as a visiting student, the cool thing is you don't have to apply directly at the university or at the department. You don't have to provide references or a letter of motivation or anything that is required for you in that normal application process. You don't need to provide that. And the only thing you need to do is reach out to a professor at that university, write an email, attach your CV, and then just persuade that professor that you want to spend some time in his or her lab, and that's it. And the cool thing about it is, for let's say Harvard or Cambridge, they do have entry requirements, right? So if you have an undergrad score that's not good enough, if your grades are not that good, you might not even get it. So with this method, you can ditch this. You don't need good grades. You just need to be persuasive. You just need to draft a good email, get yourself out there, and then you'll be at MIT, you'll be at Harvard, and it works, it literally works. That sounds great, doesn't it? I hope I have your attention now, because from now on, I'm going to teach you step by step on how you can approach that, okay? How you're going to write a persuasive email, how you can set up a tactic on how you can approach these professors and persuade them that it's a great idea to take you in to their course or to their university. So what you're going to do is, first step, note this down, you're gonna narrow down your university list. Let's say you really want to go for that top 10 university list. Then you just open a top 10 university page, QS University for instance is one of them. Note down all the universities from 1 to 10. And then think about whether they suit your requirements. Maybe you don't want to study in Japan, right? Maybe you don't want to study in Singapore. Maybe you just want to study in an English-speaking country. So that kind of crosses a lot of universities out of that list. And then with the remaining ones, you go to the homepage of that university. Let's take Harvard, right? You just Google Harvard University. Go to that university's homepage, and then it depends on what you're studying. For instance, I'm studying chemical engineering, so I'd go to the Department of Chemical Engineering on that website. And then you're going to look for all the professors that work there. And what you're then going to do is, you're going to look at which topic of that professor suits best to you, right? So if you're in chemical engineering and you do experimental work, it's kind of stupid to go for a professor that does computational work, right? Because if you've got lots of experience doing experiments, running lab work and all that kind of stuff, then it does not make sense to apply or reach out to a professor and be like, hey, I did so many great experimental things, and you know what? It's a great idea to take me in, I'll do some coding for you, but I have no coding experience. You gotta find the best match for you. And you're gonna do that for a couple of universities, right? Not only for one. Let's say 3 to 5 universities, you're gonna get that process together, and by the end you should have maybe 15 professors, 15 to 20, really write down some names. Now you have a list. You're gonna approach them one by one. And the tactic here is to start with the university you want to go to the least, because you're going to make mistakes, okay? Your first email won't be perfect. Your first interview won't be perfect. And you don't want to blow off your chances by not being prepared well enough. So start with your least favorite university and learn from your failures there, and then move forward. And for these kind of universities, you really have to, it has to be good, right? You can't just do something. You have to stand out. So start with your least favorite university. So now I'm giving you the recipe on how to draft a persuasive email. We're gonna go step by step through the process. So take a pen and pencil a pen and a sheet and start writing it down. The first thing that you're going to do is make it short and crisp. These professors, they're getting spammed by emails, and you can't just write a 2-page long text explaining all your life experience. They won't read it. So you're gonna aim for half a page. That's fine. And then you're gonna start with your introduction. Introduction means 2 to 3 sentences, not more than that. And what you're going to state in there is this. So what I would do is, my introduction would sound something like this. I'd say that I'm a second-year undergraduate student at Karlsruhe Institute of Technology. I would say, hey, I listened to a talk, or I read through an article of you. That's how I looked you up and found your contact details. So this would be like, how did I found that professor? And then I'd state why I'm reaching out to him. So I'd say the duration. I'd say like, I want to do a 3-month internship at your lab, and I'd state that I'm self-funded. This is very important. This is so important. Please say that you're self-funded, because professors worry about money a lot. It's basically their job to secure fundings all the time. And if you're a student who's already figured that out, that's great. I'm going to do a separate video on that and how to secure funding for these short-term stays, because there is plenty of option on how you can secure your funding. Summing it up, what are you studying right now? How did you find out about the professor? Why are you reaching out to that professor? And state that you'll be self-funded. These 4 things in your introduction. So in your main body, what you're going to write down is what kind of skills you have that could contribute to the work that the professor is doing in his research lab, and also if you have any project ideas already, right? So you can read through recently published articles of the professor. You can go to his or her homepage and just read through what's going on in that research group right now, and if you have any ideas on how you could contribute to that. So write that down in your main body. This kind of shows that you've already thought about what you could do at that specific research group, and that you're not just copy and pasting the same email to the same professor all the time. So this makes it unique, and it's very important. And then, as I said, this is only half a page, right? So after you've written that, you'll probably already be at half a page. So then your final statement, so at the ending of your email, will be a call for action. And what I mean by that is following. You're going to say that you're happy to meet him or her in person, and that you'll be happy to arrange a meeting at him or her earliest convenience. Don't be insecure about yourself. Write a confident email, okay? You're writing to the world's best universities, and there is no place for being insecure in your email about it. So be secure. End it confidently, and then just hope for the best. First of all, it's very usual that you won't hear back from most of these professors. You know, this is nothing uncommon. This happens a lot, and that's why you've picked 15 to 20 professors in the beginning to write to. You only need 1 approval from these 15 to 20 professors. Most of them won't answer, depending on where or whom to write to. So setting your expectations right is very crucial for your motivation. And the reason for that is sometimes it's just not a good match, it's the wrong timing, maybe that professor is just not looking for someone right now to supervise. So it's it mustn't always be about you, you know, it's just maybe the group is just full right now, or something else is going on. Anyhow, just a quick reminder, you started with your least favorite university. This is important, because if you don't hear anything back at all, please don't write to the best university, because then you have to rewrite your draft. Okay, so that's done. Email check. Don't forget to add your CV to that email as well. Send it off. Let's skip forward. Finally, a professor has answered you. Well done. Great. Now we're at the almost final step. So you said you'll be happy to set up a meeting, and they said, hey, I'll be available next Tuesday, 10 a.m. And then you say, hey, great, okay. And now what you're going to do is you're going to prepare a short presentation for that meeting, okay? You want to get there prepared. You want to lead the interview. You want to stand out and be like, hey, I did my work. I did my research. I know what's going on. And in order to do that, you're going to prepare a PowerPoint presentation. But this PowerPoint presentation shouldn't be like an hour long. This should just break the ice. This should just serve as an introduction and as an icebreaker to continue with the interview, right? So we're talking about a length of 10 to max 15 minutes. And this comes down to a maximum amount of 10 slides. Like maximum. Don't go even longer than that. 10 slides is enough. And what you're going to do in these 10 slides is you're going to talk about your previous research experience. Now, as an undergraduate or master student, nobody expects you to have published a paper, right? Or to have done like a bunch of research. But what you're going to do is, during your studies, you might have done a project, you might have done some lab work. And the important thing here is to just talk about your skills, all right? So if you've done a project and you've worked with this and that software, you can say, hey, this is a project that we've worked on, and in order to do that project, I learned how to use, how to do coding, how to use a microscope. I learned how to do, I don't know, whatever that is in your research field. So you're going to present the skills that you have. Please do this. Start easy, okay? This professor has a lot of knowledge, but probably none of the research that you've done so far. And just starting or trying to show off by just coming up with so many details is just going to confuse. So start easy, just be like zoom out. He or she is just hearing this for the first time. Do like 1 or 2 slides introduction into your topic and then dive deep, then show off, show your findings and whatever. But remember, this is just an introductory slide. This should just present who you are, what you've done so far, and what your skill set is. Okay, so once these 10 minutes are over, you're going to stop the presentation, you're going to ask if there are any questions left, and you're going to close it. And then you're going to see the professor face to face. And what's happened then is you've provided lots of information to kickstart the interview, all right? So the professor already knows what you've done so far, what your skill set are, and he's been thinking continuously, or she's been thinking continuously, okay, where can I place this student in my group? Is there a project that would suit to that, right? And then you're just gonna go with the flow. This is the final step. Now, why is this helping you to get into your dream university? First of all, you're going to head off to MIT, Harvard, or whatever that dream university is, and you're going to spend 3 to 6 months there. So once you're there, you can talk to so many students who are full-time enrolled there, who've gone through the entire application process, and you can literally ask them for tips and advice. So let's say if you're in your undergrad and you want to continue your master's there, that's the best opportunity to just explore all the tricks and hacks from all the students who've gone through the process already. And like literally this accelerates your chances to be admitted into that university by so much, because you're literally at the source of all the information that you need. You could even go to the application department, set up a meeting there, and literally talk with the people who are responsible to admit students to their school, right? That's what I would suggest. And so many people I know have done that. Literally, a friend of mine, he just got a list. He wanted to go to Harvard. He got like 15 professors at Harvard. He just sat down one night. He wrote so many emails. And then he got like 3 interviews. He decided to go with one, and he just went. And I believe in you. You're going to get there too. If this is your dream, make it happen. With that being said, this is going to be the end of my very first YouTube video. I hope you liked it. If you do like the content, make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel, but that you also go out and check out my Instagram account, because there I'm posting daily tips and daily insights. I'm going to link it in the info box. Thank you for watching and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.